Well, it happened. Hasan Piker's gotten banned on Twitch for I don't know, the 6th time in all of his career. How many times will this happen? Does it matter? Well, it shouldn't. Because as much as I'd probably hope otherwise, I wouldn't get used to it if I were you. He may not be the #1 political streamer, but hey, he'll always be the #1 streamer in Dan Clancy's heart. Hell, he's already unbanned. In fact, they waited until he was done streaming and then banned him on the day he would have taken off anyways, so can you even consider it a ban? Now, we all know that Twitch is rather biased. There's plenty of cases surrounding this. If you call somebody fat, or call them a mean slur, or God forbid a racial slur, then you can kiss your Twitch career goodbye. You're permabanned, and maybe if you're lucky, just maybe, you get a 1-month ban with a stern warning to stay in line before that. And given the sheer magnitude of people that use or have used Twitch in the past, it must be a hilarious pill to watch Twitch try and swallow. The fact that they favor Hasan and his content, going so far as to turn a blind eye as much as they can to his antics while simultaneously having the guy cost them investors, driving people away with his crash outs. Nobody wants to watch him anymore, besides the radicalized basement dwellers who are still leeching off of their woke lesbian mothers. But what did he get banned for anyways? Let's see, here it is. He was effectively banned for going over the motive of an Israeli embassy shooter and seemingly agreeing with or supporting the actions of him.
I'm not Mr. False Flag at all, but like every single thing that he did in the aftermath of the shooting is so fucking crazy that it's like you could not have fucking designed a incident like this. You could not have designed a better false flag incident like this. I'm not saying it is a false flag incident at all. I'm not saying that. I think this is just a one dude who is genuine in his actions and maybe, you know, a little bit brain broken. Okay.
You saw that, didn't you? Typical narrative pushing. Bro thinks he's CNN. Thinks he's slick, but I'm on to you, Hasan. You said the word genuine, but didn't expound upon it. That is some vague phrasing. What is he? Genuinely crazy or genuinely well-intentioned? If you were a normal person who didn't have a toxic agenda to push, then you would have clarified. Instead, though, you justified. When you say someone is genuine and nothing more, that's generally associated with positive reinforcement. After everything that's been said and done, I find it stunning that he's only now getting banned, and he was really skirting around the topic, beating around the bush like it was the most intense battle of attrition he had ever been forced to endure. There are points where I feel it must really suck to be Hasan Piker. Who in their right mind would want to take home the golden medal for mental gymnastics? I'm not sure, but Hasan will throw his hat in any day of the week. And in the midst of this drama, Hasan even went as far as to lock the invites on his Discord. It really does make you squirm, doesn't it? The thought of the depravity that is discussed in a Hasan Diddy Party Piker Discord chat. I could think of far tamer Discord servers to dive into and still feel like you're walking on glass as you trudge through some of the common threads.
Y'all are so stupid. Okay, guys, this is not like this is not a time to be it's not a time for you to say fun, wild, edgy things. Okay, there are probably 1,000 people in the chat currently documenting every single thing that you guys are saying in an effort to basically tie it back to me and this community and rob it of its context or anything like that. And to try to get me deplatformed. Like, lock in. Stop Fed posting. It's not time for memes. Just because you're anonymous doesn't mean you will stay anonymous. All this stuff, okay?
And you can see how nervous he is here. General rule of thumb is that anyone who acts like that really does have something to hide. It's how they detect shoplifters at malls and grocery stores, and why criminals who can keep a cool head are so dangerous. Not that Hasan falls into any of these categories. He's one of the most unhinged and emotionally volatile people I have ever seen in my life. If you don't think, act, breathe, and shit exactly as he does, then you have to be evil, right? The scum of the earth. But beyond that, why would he feel the need to essentially offer a disclaimer on such subject matter. If the shenanigans that he likes to get up to with his cult, or sorry, audience, was all that wholesome to begin with, give it some thought. Who says something like that? It's pretty weird. You never see people like Kai Cenat, Tectone, or hell, even his thirst trap bestie Pokimane saying things like this to their audience. It isn't just the Israeli embassy shooter. Hasan seems to appreciate, shall we say, just about any gun enthusiast in a dark mental space.
It was around 6:45 a.m. Wednesday when the suspect, pictured at a Starbucks before the shooting, gunned down Thompson as he was walking alone into the Hilton for an investors conference. And in new video overnight, the shooter seen here about 20 minutes before the shooting.
They're looking for a male, about 5 feet 10 inches in height, cream color.
Yo, by the way, like, you know, don't get mad at me. I don't want to be like inappropriate here, but he looks kind of hot, dude. I cannot be the only person who immediately went, wow, clearly this guy has interesting style and also is kind of attractive. Which is part of the reason why I thought if they catch him and he gets his message out and he's hot, it's going to be a far more consequential problem.
Where exactly is the appeal? Normally, if you see someone wearing a backpack in all black and a mask akin to that of a home invader, you'd probably think they're a fishy fellow. But maybe I'm the crazy one. Perhaps Hasan just sees all that black leather underneath that grimy overcoat, and it's getting his S&M receptors firing at full capacity. Like, what are you even talking about? No one thinks this guy is hot. They probably want to put him on a watch list given how much he seems to have to hide. My guy out here looking like he's doing some Cayo Perigo prep in GTA, not like he finna swoop you up for a night in the town. Hell, even when someone stated an objective fact, the most emotionless and factual thing a person could ever point out, with absolutely no political bias or perceivable ulterior motive. Somehow the guy is an Israeli dick rider. This here is as good as any example to show the true extent of Hasan's ignorance. He didn't call you a nepo baby, or a commie with a Gucci bag, or an incel, or a psychopath. No, he didn't say any of that. All he did was state the simple fact that you were banned. What you're doing here is as stupid as bitching about the sky being blue. Also, I'm sensing a bit of hypocrisy here. You say he farming the blue check? Well, what the fuck is this? Hasan, what am I looking at here? Oh, that's right, it's a blue check. You aren't even trying to hide it anymore. The virtue signaling has become so shallow that it doesn't even go up to my pinky toe. The only reason Hasan was even banned in the first place was as some half-ass and poorly thought-out attempt to appease the masses. Because they know that Hasan is controversial. They know that almost nobody likes him, but what they failed to do was consider the fact that them banning him only looks worse for them in the way that they did it. If you were gonna ban him in this kind of way, then why'd you even bother at all? If they did it for the kids or whatever noble visage they want to hide behind, then sure, I could understand their policies on terrorist propaganda. See, in Twitch's eyes, you cannot talk about it at all, not even to denounce the act of doing it. And maybe, just maybe, people would be able to accept that if they actually enforced their rules in a fair manner. But then you have people like Hasan Piker who get into debates with others of political differences, only to create the most toxic arguments that anyone has ever seen. Seriously, if Tectone can get banned for what was initially supposed to be 2 weeks, only to still get banned for longer than Hasan Piker, all for calling Frogan fat, then how the hell is Hasan still on Twitch even after associating just about everyone he's ever beefed with a lolicon, or a fascist, or a Palestinian-hating meat licker? Something doesn't add up here. I smell a bad case of rules for thee, but not for me. So all in all, do I think Hasan will ever be banned permanently? No, of course not. I like to think realistically. Twitch's bias is based in philosophy. Twisted philosophy that endorses terrorism while shaming anyone for daring to call someone fat or ugly, but philosophy nonetheless. And I find that that pretty weird. Just goes to show that not every greedy corporate suit is strictly interested in making money alone. But that doesn't mean he'll be around forever. In fact, his VODs were actually all deleted during his ban. Does it matter? Who knows? There's probably a massive Hasan hater out there.
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that Hasan Piker? I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house.
We're in the ring.
No, in real life. I'm going to stalk him and become obsessed with him and wear his makeup and his dresses and use his skin as a coat like the ancient Irish did.
God knows he has no shortage of that supply. But there's probably a massive Hasan hater who just has every bit of propaganda he has ever spread, all saved on a hard drive. Possibly every single minute of his 10K hour streaming legacy saved on that drive too. Not confirming anything, but he did get stopped coming back to America for an extra hour of questioning, which is extraordinarily unusual. If Twitch deleted all that incriminating evidence, then there's a decent chance he's under investigation. Either way, any restitution for his sickness surely won't come from Twitch, but they all know they're fucked. He's cost them so much revenue and so much money, yet even now they continue to defend him by giving the most inconsequential suspension possible.